Okay, guys, welcome back. We're gonna be doing the head now. This is probably gonna be broken up to quite a few videos. The head is pretty, pretty intense, involved. So I took my body and I threw it on a layer right here, so I just get it out of our way for right now. And then I imported some new image planes here of this handsome fellow. So pick whatever photos you guys want to use for your character, however you want them to look. This is just the rough right now, so we're not going to worry about it too much. So we're going to start this guy off with, again, a cube. And we'll just do by 2 by 2 by 2. Excuse me. So this one, we're going to be adding a lot of edge loops in on this guy, just because the head's super dense and there's a lot of little details we need to be able to get in it. So I'm going to start with the back of the cranium here first. Just because that's where a lot of the mass is, so doing that. And if your guy has a lot of hair, try to account for that when you're doing this stuff as best you can. You want to try to get to where the actual skull lies. Up there. Try to keep this as symmetrical as I can for the time being. And like I said, the approach to this is going to be different from the other parts of the body. Where I'm already starting to kind of soften this up a little bit, just because I know I'll be adding some more geometry in here almost right off the bat. So I want to try to keep somewhat control of that before we start getting too many polygons. So with this, I'm just going to extrude this out. With your face, it's pretty much a sphere with a box appended onto it, or for your head, excuse me. So just trying to get the base of that in here. It's down a little. And I'll just grab these edges and I'll pull them out right now. Just move that vertex around. Two. Here, I'll pull those back a little bit. I'll pull the bottom set in here. This down just a little bit. Cool. All right, so now let's start putting in some edge loops here because this obviously is not matching up quite yet. So do some edge loops. They're gonna be our friend right now. So I want to make a section for where the eye is gonna be. So I know that's gonna be sectioned off there. I need a spot where the lips are gonna part. I know I'm gonna need some geometry right here to account for that shape. Some right there. Some right there. So start shaping this up a little bit. let's go ahead, insert another edge loop right here so we start to get that profile. And here's the thing too, watch out for. See, there's no faces there to make that nose up yet. So you don't want to push that out there too far because it's gonna start to get like a little wedge face going on right now. So don't worry about that quite yet. Alright. So then I'm gonna insert edge loop. So right now we're just worried about the construction, the overall shape of it. Right now this topology is terrible, but we're not going to worry about that too much right now. We're going to go back, we're going to edit that later, so I want to make sure that my volume's there to support what's going on. So I'm going to start spacing this out a little bit so I can use my edges a little bit more effectively for my shaping. Excellent. Insert another edge loop down here. Yep. Trying to get that in. And I have all these edge loops that I put in that are not being utilized on the front, so let's come through and just kind of scale them out so we have a little bit more volume. I'm actually going to grab these edges here, scale them in a little bit. Cool. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come through and I'm going to go to edge mode and I'm going to bevel this guy. Okay, and then I'm actually going to do 2 segments in there so we can cut it down the middle. So this is one of those things, especially when you're working from live photos of people, you kind of have to use your best judgment. This isn't matching up completely with what's here, so it's going to be a constant back and forth and you debating whether or not you want to keep certain things. So that's something that's important to consider. All right, because we beveled it, we lost a little bit of our silhouette there. I'll just kind of readjust some of this, move it back in place. That's fine. All right. So into face mode, grab that. I'm going to actually start shaping this a little bit. So it's kind of getting to about the size of the bridge base there. Then I'm going to take this guy just a little bit. pull these two vertices up. Okay, now I'll grab them. I'm going to extrude them. Get this beautiful thing. So take that. Start doing some adjustments to it. That up there. And then down. In a little bit. Cool. Righty. So I'm going to bring these in a little bit so there's a little bit more of a transition. My edge flow. And then I'm also going to grab these guys. I'm going to pull them back. Pull this one back a little bit too. There we go. So one of the things I can do here is I can actually should be able to seize. And grab these faces. So this is getting a little crazy here. So here's what I'm gonna do. Pull that in real quick. I'm going to delete that. So one of the things we can do when I can actually copy this over. So let me freeze my transforms in my history. If I go up to edit and do duplicate special, I can do an instance, and then I'm going to mirror it in the z-axis, so or x-axis. I'm sorry. So x. So I'm going to put -1. Hit apply. So now that's over there. So what instance does is whatever I do to this side will happen on that side. So go to edge mode, grab that, boom. So I don't have to keep doing that random selection thing. So it's a pretty useful. Vertex mode. That down a little bit. Pull that out. Cool. And then I can actually, I should be able to no, I don't want to do that. You know what? I'll address that later. Let's get the other stuff blocked in here. So now I need to do the lips. So kind of the same idea. Grab this. And I know this is not going to be wide enough. There. So let me go. And I want this to kind of be the center of it. See, there's a pretty big disparity between one reference and any other. I'm just going to try to find that halfway mark. And he's got a little bit of a frown, so actually, let's put it right there. I'll run the vertex and I'll grab this. All right, and I'll just grab this edge and I'll pull it out. Actually, I just want to grab that vertex. extrude. So because we did extrude off the side there, it pulled this, made this guy, pretty much capped it and pulled it. So just need to make sure we delete that so we don't have a floating face. Let's see. Let's pull this. See a little bit. Edge down. Now I'm gonna bring this one in a little bit more, so it's just a little bit more even. And then I can actually come in here, insert an edge loop, and it's gonna go all the way around that mouth, which is what I want. And grab this vertice again. Start shaping out a little bit. Pull this guy out a little bit more. Start grabbing these guys. And this actually works out really well for us because of the way the topology will have to be. This is going to support what we need already. So break that. All right. So next we're going to do the So I'm going to grab this brow. I want this little slope here, transition. Make sure I'm getting what I need to. Send a little bit. Say about. One of the things I'm going to do too right now, I'm going to just select these faces right here. Your head, when you look down on it, it's oval, and then it kind of like, it's an oval shape with the fatter end being up here. So this needs to smush in a little bit, or this needs to come out. I'm going to go with smushing in. A couple ways we could do it. We can move these face by face, vert by vert. I'd rather use soft select to do that. So go into my soft selection here. Let's make sure we're doing surface. Cool. Let's do 0.2, no, 0.5. That's probably enough. Just move that there. Six. Just a little. All right, cool. All right. And then I want this to not be so blocky looking, so I'm just actually gonna grab that edge. I'll turn off my soft select. Pull this in. Top view. All right. Cool. All right. So what I'm actually gonna do is just do a little bit, just a little bit of retopology work. Oh, let me pull this out a little bit. So I want an edge loop to go through the middle of this eye right here. Problem is, if I do that, like that, and it goes down through there, what I actually want that to do is I want it to run into the mouth there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to leave it on the back of the head like that. Then I'm going to come up here, just like that, delete edge. If you don't know how I was able to isolate the selection there, select the first edge loop and shift double click the one you want it to end at, and it'll go up to there. So delete edge loop, and take it, do split polygon, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Like that. I just these edges here, just to shape a little bit. So now that I have this set up, boom. So I actually want to just move this adjusted a little bit. Just to make sure it's starting to match my references. Sorry, my references. Especially since we did all that tapering stuff. So I might actually come back and select that. So this is something that's a constant battle, is getting your silhouette and your shape appropriate. So strap in for that. It'll probably never be good enough, but that's okay. All right, so let's give this a shot now. Nope. Still this out. So we'll do an extrude. Pull this in. Start shaping it to what I need it to look like. If I need to pull some, let's do that. So he's kind of got these almond-shaped eyes, so that's what I'm going to try to track across. Make sure you're using your points at the apex, where it's the most. It's got the most degrees on it, so you can put that in there. So, and then we end up with something like that. What we're gonna do is we're actually going to face. Oops. I'll just flatten it out real quick. We're gonna go add shape to it later, but right now I just want to flatten it out. And I'll pull that back. About fit where it is on this reference here. I can to know that this vertice probably too far back. Bring that. Excellent. And again, it's kind of finding where that spot is, that sweet spot is between the two references. Squeeze this down just a little bit. And then with this, we can do the same thing we did with the mouth. We can do insert edge loop. We can plop that in there. Start shaping it up a little bit. So I'm going to shape this out a little bit. When I get done doing that, we'll come back and we'll work on retopologizing the head and shaping it up a little bit more.